What's up, cool people? My name's Matt, aka That Random Christian Gamer. Welcome to today's live stream. Definitely earlier than normal, because A, I'm not working when I normally would on a Thursday, and B, Thanksgiving dinner is going to be, well, I will be with my family for that, so my usual evening time frame is occupied and my morning is not. Therefore, morning live stream. So, yeah. Otherwise, today's pretty much going to be the usual kind of stuff. We're hopping into the book of Ezra in our Bible study today. Looking at the first couple of chapters there. And then, since I still haven't quite started the Remind DLC on Proud Mode yet, and might want to get a couple more levels in before that happens, I'll be doing more Kingdom Hearts 3 side questing after the Bible study. So, yeah, there's the plan, along with why I'm streaming as early as I am today. I don't know of anything as of yet that would change tomorrow's plans from the normal. If anything does happen, I will definitely communicate that in the Discord server. Otherwise, I realize I've been absolutely terrible about communicating any timing changes like that on social media, and I apologize for that. Maybe that's something I should make a New Year's resolution as we get close to that time. But I also might be making some other changes. We'll see. Anywho. Alright. That's about all I've got. As far as what's going on and what to expect today. So, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and run the early Twitch ads, and then we'll hop into our usual Bible study. Twitch folks, I will see you on the flip side of that. Ad break, I mean. Okay. Meanwhile. There we go. Okay. At some point, hopefully over the course of this week and or next week. Well, for those of you who don't know, after I finish each book of the Bible, I've also been doing like an abridged version where I pretty much generally just take like a verse or two per chapter in the book and use that as a summary for the entire book of the Bible. I have yet to make that for 2nd Chronicles, but the edited videos aren't gonna be public until, I mean, I think the final chapter is gonna be next Friday, so a week from tomorrow. So as long as I can get the abridged version in there, edited and put together by that Sunday, before then the video on Ezra chapter 1 would go public on that following Monday, then I guess it's all good. But yeah, I have all my notes put together for that. I just have yet to, otherwise actually make it. But that just comes down to recording myself reading the verses, editing things, and yeah. Anyway, okay. So, speaking of editing things, I guess it's about time to start recording this stuff for later editing purposes. Alrighty. Sorry. Randomly felt a little bit of gas come up through my throat. I don't know why I felt like wording it like that. Anyway, okay. I suppose it's about time we get rolling with this. Okay. we have arrived at the book of Ezra. And, so, context. Basically, after God's people had settled into the Promised Land, which is like roughly modern day Israel and maybe some other countries, they, settled in there, kind of expanded a bit after the initial settling, pretty much demanded to have a king, so it became a kingdom then, but then the kingdom split into two, and after a long time of rotating through various kings and various levels of faithfulness to God, those kingdoms both got taken over by other kingdoms. And so that's kind of where we left things off at the end of 2nd Chronicles. These first couple of verses are going to sound real familiar from the last verse of 2nd Chronicles. So specifically for this, I guess I'll note that it was the Babylonians who took over Judah in particular, and 1st and 2nd Chronicles was kind of targeted towards them, but eventually the Babylonians gave way to the Persians, who will provide the setting for this particular book and this chapter in particular. Hi, Seth. Hope you're doing well. Happy Thanksgiving. Okay. Without further ado, I suppose let's hop on in here to Ezra chapter 1. Only other thing I'll say before we dive in is this guy named Ezra is probably the one who wrote said book. Otherwise, it was someone real close who wrote about Ezra. Anyway. Alright, Ezra chapter 1. Here we go. In the first year of King Cyrus of Persia, the Lord fulfilled the prophecy he had given through Jeremiah. He stirred the heart of Cyrus to put this proclamation in writing and send it throughout his kingdom. This is what King Cyrus of Persia says. The Lord, the God of heaven, has given me all the kingdoms of the earth. He has appointed me to build him a temple at Jerusalem, which is in Judah. Any of you who are his people may go to Jerusalem in Judah to rebuild this temple of the Lord, the God of Israel, who lives in Jerusalem, and may your God be with you. Wherever this Jewish remnant is found, let their neighbors contribute toward their expenses by giving them silver and gold, supplies for the journey, and livestock, as well as a voluntary offering for the temple of God in Jerusalem. Alright, so, as I mentioned, the Persians are basically now in control of the territory where at least a bunch of God's people lived, if not all of the Promised Land. But King Cyrus has control of the area, essentially. No, there's a note there. First year of King Cyrus's reign over Babylon was 538 BC. Okay, so that's just giving you a particular date, or a particular year at least, to line that up chronologically. Note there about the prophecy from Jeremiah. See Jeremiah 25:11 through 12 and 29:10. So, yeah, I mean, my vague recollection of that is that, not just through Jeremiah, but also through him, it was prophesied essentially that, God's people would be captured, taken over, conquered, whatever you want to call it, and then they would eventually, after turning back to God, get to return, and things would be relatively good again. That's sort of the vague idea of it, anyway. KH3, appreciate the lurk. So King Cyrus basically says, God has told me he wants the temple in Jerusalem rebuilt. Because, the Babylonians destroyed it. So, after, I think, roughly 60 years, if I'm remembering right, this proclamation comes from King Cyrus, and he tells anybody who worships, the Lord, the God of Israel, that they can, maybe even should, go back to Jerusalem to help rebuild the temple. This proclamation was a big part of the reason why 1st and 2nd Chronicles was even written in the first place. It was to kind of try and help encourage God's people to go help rebuild. Okay. Verse 5. Then God stirred the hearts of the priests and Levites and the leaders of the tribes of Judah and Benjamin to go to Jerusalem to rebuild the temple of the Lord. And all their neighbors assisted by giving them articles of silver and gold, supplies for the journey, and livestock. They gave them many valuable gifts in addition to the voluntary offerings, to all the voluntary offerings. Cyrus had also proclaimed, as part of this announcement, that, the neighbors of anyone who was going to go help build, that they should, give some things to the cause. Silver and gold, some of that might have been used in the construction of the temple, or at the very least, it would be valuable goods to trade for the things that would be needed to rebuild the temple. Either way, I guess that was his way of just trying to make sure that they had something to get the project started with. Also, without really knowing how many people would be involved in it, this was maybe sort of a way of, scaling the giving the offerings, whatever you want to call it, the donations, you might say, of any other people who weren't God's people, but it's okay, well, they're neighbors, they should know these people then who will go and help rebuild, so it maybe, hopefully, shouldn't be too much of a problem in their minds to help give to this cause. But, anyway, okay, that's all my thoughts on that. We'll move along. I'm going to go ahead and highlight this little thing here, because dark mode of this website doesn't show these lists very well otherwise. Okay, verse 7. King Cyrus himself brought out the articles that King Nebuchadnezzar had taken from the Lord's temple in Jerusalem and had placed in the temple of his own gods. Cyrus directed Mithredath, the treasurer of Persia, to count these items and present them to Sheshbazzar, the leader of the exiles returning to Judah. This is a list of the items that were returned. 30 gold basins. Yeah, I'm going to read it kind of backwards from how it is here, but anyway. 30 gold basins, 1,000 silver basins, 29 silver incense burners, 30 gold bowls, 410 silver bowls, 1,000 other items. In all, there were 5,400 articles of gold and silver. Sheshbazzar brought all of these along with the exiles. Sorry. Blech, let me redo that. In all, there were 5,400 articles of gold and silver. Sheshbazzar brought all of these along when the exiles went from Babylon to Jerusalem. There's the proper enunciation there. Anyway. Now, note, the things mentioned in this kind of list here don't add up to 5,400. That's only like 2,500-ish? Yeah. But, I wonder if maybe the 5,400 total here, either that included the, donations of the neighbors, or there was just more stuff from the temple. But that does kind of seem odd that there would be an other items category then, if that wasn't supposed to be a catch-all for other things from the temple that Nebuchadnezzar had taken. I don't know. In any case, so they've got at least a grand total of 5,400 articles of gold and silver to help kick things off with the rebuilding of the temple. Now, a couple of notes here. At the end of verse 8, Hebrews says, Sheshbazzar, the prince of Judah. Huh. That, I mean, okay, that definitely implies that he was a leader of the exiles. It could also imply that he was perhaps, like, descended from one of the previous kings. But I'm not totally sure if that's actually accurate. So, it's still definitely a leader figure if he's being called a prince here. Although you'd think Ezra was kind of leading the efforts as well. But maybe Ezra wasn't that kind of leader. Anyway, also note here, it mentions the silver incense burners. Meaning of this Hebrew word is uncertain. Okay, so it's probably silver. It's at least silver something or another. Believed to be incense burners, but we're not quite sure what exactly it is. So yeah. Thus begins the efforts to rebuild the temple in Jerusalem. But that's kinda all we got for Ezra chapter 1. Relatively short chapter. And yeah, I don't know if I don't really have too many other thoughts other than, okay, quick note about verse 5 here. It says, God stirred the hearts of the priests, and so God is kind of at work in this. I mean, if it wasn't already clear from Cyrus mentioning the Lord, the God of heaven. So, yeah. God does work through other people, even if, even way back in the Old Testament, God was working through other people who weren't, just merely descendants of Abraham or, any of his chosen people. Because King Cyrus, I mean, to my knowledge, wasn't like descended from that same, it wasn't part of that same family tree, you might say. But yeah, God's at work all around, through all different people, in all different places. So yeah, don't assume that God's work in the world is only limited to, like, you know, the church today, or just through Jews and Christians, or anything like that. Anyway, I digress. Okay, that's all I got for Ezra chapter 1. Yeah. This chapter, I am almost inclined to turn off dark mode because of how much stuff is in a table list kind of this. But that is going to absolutely just blind me. And yeah, that's what it looks like. So, other option is just I highlight everything because that is overwhelmingly bright. Okay. So, now that I've officially established how I'm going to do this, let's get rolling here, I guess. Actually, before I start recording, I'm just going to go ahead and highlight... Well, no, because I'll have to click back on the tab again to have my arrow pointer thing show up here. Alright, let me hit record and we'll get rolling. Okay. Ezra, chapter 2. Previous chapter was, for the most part, just King Cyrus of Persia declaring that God told him to rebuild the temple in Jerusalem. So he sent out a proclamation that's like, all right, anybody who worships the Lord, the God of heaven, basically Israel's God, any of you go help rebuild the temple. And any of you who live near them, you know, help. Your way of helping in this effort will be to contribute some silver and gold and gifts. So that was the general gist of things. Context-wise, I'm not sure there's too much else that's needed. So, yeah. Ezra chapter 2, here we go. Here is the list of the Jewish exiles of the provinces who returned from their captivity. King Nebuchadnezzar had deported them to Babylon, but now they returned to Jerusalem and the other towns in Judah where they originally lived. Their leaders were Zerubbabel, Jeshua, Nehemiah, Seraiah, Realiah, Mordecai, Bilshan, Mispar, Bigvai, Rehum, and Bana. This is the number of the men of Israel who returned from exile, and I'm going to have to highlight this list to make it more readable. Okay, so number of the men of Israel who returned from exile. 2,178 from the family of Parosh. 372 from the family of Shephatiah. 775 from the family of Ara. 2,812 from the family of Pahath Moab, descendants of Jeshua and Joab. 1,254 from the family of Elam? I don't know. Anyway. 945 from the family of Zatu. 760 from the family of Zakkai. 642 from the family of Bani. 623 from the family of Bebai, 1,222 from the family of Asgad, 666 from the family of Adonikum, 2,056 from the family of Bigvi, 454 from the family of Aden, 98 from the family of Ater, or Ater, I don't know, who are descendants of Hezekiah, 323 from the family of Bezai, 112 from the family of Jorah, 223 from the family of Hashem, 95 from the family of Gibbar, 123 from the family of Bethlehem, or the people of Bethlehem. Sorry, now we're getting into like towns, not just families. 56 from the people of Netophah, 128 from the people of Anathoth, 42 from the people of Beth Asmaveth, 743 from the people of Kiriath Jearim, Kephirah, and Beeroth, 621 from the people of Ramah and Geba, 122 from the people of Michmash, 223 from the people of Bethel and Ai, 52 of the citizens of Nebo, 156 citizens of Magbish, 1,254 citizens of West Elam, 320 citizens of Harim, 725 citizens of Lod, Hadid, and Ono, 345 citizens of Jericho, and 3,630 citizens of Senea. Okay. Now that long list is over, let's pause for a sec and get a feel for what's going on here. So, essentially, we're now getting an idea of the people returning from exile to Jerusalem, at least first and foremost to help rebuild the temple. Presumably then these people will also live around Jerusalem again. But yeah, lots of different groups of people involved. It calls out, looks like, roughly 18 specific families first. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or, well, all these other ones are pretty much either like people from particular clans and or cities / towns that were within the kingdoms of Israel and Judah, you know, before the whole being conquered and exiled sort of thing. Now, it calls out the family of Ater being descendants of Hezekiah. I assume that's the Hezekiah who was king over Judah a handful of generations before it got conquered. I'm not as sure why it calls out descendants of Jeshua and Joab. I mean, Jeshua was mentioned as one of the leaders here, but maybe it's a different... I don't know. In any case, they were probably notable clan leaders at least sometime in the history of God's people. We also got a couple of notes to look at from the translators, like here in verse 24. The Hebrew for this verse just reads Asmaveth, but Nehemiah 7:28 seems like it reads Beth Asmaveth. So maybe that's why why they went with Beth Asmaveth here. Now, I couldn't tell you offhand which was written first, Ezra or Nehemiah, but they both focus on the rebuilding of the temple and or Jerusalem as a whole. So it's possible Nehemiah was written first, so they matched this one to that rather than doing it the other way around. Even though, as we read it, Nehemiah comes after Ezra in modern Bibles. But again, not entirely sure. That's just an educated guess as to why they would have this match that. Either that or their source text, plural possibly, for Nehemiah date back a little earlier than what they have for Ezra. Although, if I'm remembering right, they were originally kind of like one scroll. I think Ezra Nehemiah was one thing originally. But, again, that's just me recalling what I think I heard back in, like, Bible college or whatever. Or possibly things from others who have been to seminary and studied these events more closely. Anyway, note there at Kiriath Jearim. That's as in some Hebrew manuscripts in the Greek version. See also Nehemiah 7:29. Hebrew reads Kiriath Arim. I mean, similar enough pronunciation, and honestly only 2 letters different. Could be one of those variant spelling kind of things, or something that the common spelling changed over time, or whatever. West Elam could be read as the other Elam, because there was already an Elam mentioned earlier. Sorry, give me a sec. Yeah, family of Elam, there. But there was some other town or area or whatever named Elam. And I'm guessing it's commonly believed that this other part of Elam was further west. So, either way, slightly different set of people, also from an area named Elam. And that's why this 1,254 are not included when mentioning this other... wow, that is odd that they both match the exact same number of people, though. It's almost suspicious. But anyway, I assume, if you trust the original writings, that there are 2 different sets of people. And I am not going to try and crunch the numbers for how many people in total that are mentioned here. Maybe it'll get to that later in the chapter. But for now, we move along. And believe it or not, we're already at verse 36. Because all of these, like every line in this chart was a different verse, essentially. Anyway, verse 36, here we go. These are the priests who returned from exile. The family of Jedaiah, through the line of Jeshua, 973, 1,052 from the family of Immer, 1,247 from the family of Pashhur, and 1,017 from the family of Harim. And these are the Levites who returned from exile. 74 from the families of Jeshua and Kadmiel, who were descendants of Hodaviah. 128 of the singers of the family of Asaph. 139 of the gatekeepers of the families of Shalom, Ater, Talmon, Akub, Hatita, and Shobai. The descendants of the following temple servants returned from exile. Also, I will, add in parentheses there. Ziha, Hasufa, Taboth, Kiros, Sayaha, Padon, Lebana, Hagabiah, Akub, Hagab, Shalmai, Hanan, Gidel, Gehar, Reaiah, Rezin, Nakoda, Gazem, Uzzah, Paseah, Besai, Asna, Meunim, Nephusim, Bakbuk, Hakufa, Harhur, Basluth, Mehida, I don't know, Harsha, Barkos, Sisera, Tima, Neziah, and Hatifa. The descendants of these servants of King Solomon returned from exile. Sotai, Hasophereth, I don't know, Perida, Jaela, Darkon, Gidel, Shephatiah, Hatil, Pokereth Hazibaim, and Ami. I don't know. In all, the temple servants and the descendants of Solomon's servants numbered 392. Well, okay, these are the priests. Those are Levites. So, these are probably just, this 392 here is probably talking about these other servants. Temple servants and, yeah. And descendants of King Solomon's servants, yeah. Okay. So we got 392 of them, about 300 or so Levites, and a few thousand priests who also returned from exile. Not necessarily a whole lot else that I have in mind to mention from that. It's one of those just kind of listings of people, so there's not a whole lot to be said about it, unless particular names stand out, which, at least to me, none of these do for any really obvious reasons. Yeah, man, sorry. Throat's kind of acting up a little bit. Okay, there is a note here at Shalmai. This... okay, it says, as in an alternate reading of the Masoretic text, see also Nehemiah 7:48. The other alternate reads Shamlai rather than Shalmai. Okay, so it's... really the only debate here is the placement of the L and the M. But, again, Nehemiah seems to say Shalmai, whereas it seems like a good number of the source texts for Ezra say Shamlai. I'm not sure it's a real big deal either way. But it seems like they're very much leaning towards matching things to what it says in Nehemiah. Which further makes me think that maybe Nehemiah was actually written first. Or that the source texts are dated back earlier. Or perhaps are even a bit more complete. Because, you know, source texts as they age have gotten more brittle and might possibly have pieces missing from wear and tear over the years. But anyway, okay. Just lots. All right. Relative to, you know, the broader number of people who returned, still a somewhat small percentage, but that's kind of to be expected when you're just talking about priests and Levites and other servants. Anyway, okay. On to verse 59. Another group returned at this time from the towns of Tel Melah, Tel Harsha, Kerub, Adin, and Immer. However, they could not prove that they or their families were descendants of Israel. This group included the families of Deliah, Tobiah, and Nekoda, a total of 652 people. 3 families of priests, Hobaiah, Hakaz, and Barzillai, also returned. This Barzillai had married a woman who was a descendant of Barzillai of Gilead, and he had taken her family name. They searched for their names in the genealogical records, but they were not found, so they were disqualified from serving as priests. The governor told them not to eat the priest's share of food from the sacrifices until the priest could consult the Lord about the matter by using the Urim and Thummim, the sacred lots. So a total of 42,360 people returned to Judah, in addition to 7,337 servants and 200 singers, both men and women. They took with them 736 horses, 245 mules, 435 camels, and 6,720 donkeys. When they arrived at the temple of the Lord in Jerusalem, some of the family leaders made voluntary offerings toward the rebuilding of God's temple on its original site, and each leader gave as much as he could. The total of their gifts came to 61,000 gold coins, 6,250 pounds of silver, and 100 robes for the priests. So the priests, the Levites, the singers, the gatekeepers, the temple servants, and some of the common people settled in villages near Jerusalem. The rest of the people returned to their own towns throughout Israel. Okay, so there you have, like, the main influx of people heading back to mostly Jerusalem, but I guess other Israelite towns, all stemming from the command of King Cyrus in the last chapter. Some of these people, whether they were descendants of Israel or not, decided to take this as an opportunity to relocate. Now, if this guy Barzillai had married a woman who was a descendant of Barzillai, like, wouldn't that kind of show somewhere in the genealogical records that they were related? I mean, maybe this parenthetical might not have been known to the people who were determining priesthood in this particular situation. But perhaps after seeking the Lord about the matter, it was found out that this Barzillai was in a way related to, although he had married a descendant, that doesn't necessarily make him a descendant of a priest. So whether or not that qualifies him, I'm not totally sure. So we did eventually get that total number of people. So there's also a bunch of animals they took with them. No mention of, like, cows or sheep or goats. Which is interesting because those were the animals commonly used in, like, offerings. Anyway, I imagine these couple of notes here are just going to be about the units or the numbers of things that were given by the family leaders for the rebuilding of the temple. So after 61,000 gold coins, the note here says, in Hebrew, it's 61,000 derricks, which would have been about 1,100 pounds or 500 kilograms in weight. Or wait, sorry. Is that Yeah. That's related to the gold coins. Okay. After the pounds of silver there, Hebrew says 5,000 minas. I don't know if that's the pronunciation exactly, but some actual Hebrew unit of measurement. And then 100 robes for the priests. Okay. So there you have it, I guess. Again, with it just being like a listing of the people returning to the Israelite towns and whatnot, it's like there's not a whole lot of other thoughts to add on to this. Also, even though this chapter is technically 70 verses, a lot of those verses are really, really short. Just like a few words long, listing out names of people or families or groups who returned from exile. But anyway, yeah. So I guess that's all I got for Ezra chapter 2. The first chapter was legitimately just short verse-wise. Ezra chapter 2 was maybe closer to an average size. But verse number-wise, it's longer. Or it's got a higher verse count because of all these short ones in the lists. Yeah. Anywho, not moving on from that. We'll pick up with Ezra chapter 3 and 4 next week. And I think there's only 6 total chapters in it. Nope. 10 chapters in Ezra. Okay. Anywho, enough about that. So, yeah. Planned Bible study portion of the stream is done for today. That was actually relatively quick. Which means more time for Kingdom Hearts. Not that spending more time in the Bible is a bad thing. It's a very good thing, actually, if you're a Christian. But, that's just how it worked out with the weekly plan. Plan, air quote. Anywho, enough rambling on. I might as well go ahead and run the next Twitch ad break before I hop into Kingdom Hearts 3, though. Might give me some time to set a couple things up a little better anyway. Twitch folks, I'll see you on the flip side of the ads. Alright. Gotta change the category over there. Kingdom Hearts 3. Okay. Also going to move myself more at an angle like this. Boot up the game, switch to this scene, fade out my background music, because the game is going to have plenty of its own. Okay. If I hit continue, that will probably be the save file that I've been working on. Man. Yes, Seth, I know there are ads. I initiated them. Okay. So we finished up everything in the toy box world, I believe. Yep. Got all the lucky emblems and the treasures. So yeah, Kingdom of Corona is next in our collectible hunt. Well, collectibles and battle gates, I guess you'd say. Alright, embark. Nope, I guess. Yep. There's the Kingdom of Corona. I guess we'll start at the tower. Okay, so does this not imply then that Sora's cure magic wouldn't be enough to save Eugene's life in this situation? Anyway. Alrighty. So what treasures am I missing from here? Well, as early as number 2. 2, 3, 6. Two, 3, 6, 12, 14, 16 through 18, 21 through 24. Or, hang on, did I get that wrong somehow? No. And that, right, and then 25 through 28. Number 2, Forest Hills. Where there are a lot of air-stepping icons. Look for a tree high up on the west side with an icon on its branch. The path to this chest can be jumped to from behind it. Okay, Forest Hills. Let me see if there is a closer safe... Well, Forest Hills. Where there are a lot of air-stepping icons. Okay. Damn. Also, the west side would be sort of along here. Okay. I don't see a lot of air-stepping icons around here. I'm still kind of going to stick to the west side anyway. Now I did get this treasure, right? Probably. Yeah, there are like animals that guide you to it at one point. Okay, I'm like, there's nothing in the tree stump here, right? That is not the way that I can go.
Back off! Yeah. It's over. Try this.
Maybe this area will have more of the air stepping icons.
I know what to do. Go get it. Oh!
Alright, level 50. Got an air combo boost. Still not seeing a lot of air stepping icons. At least not yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Coming up soon here might be an area that I would consider to have a lot of air stepping.
See ya. Yeah.
Oh. Enemy was there, just frozen. Well, it hasn't said that I'm in a new area yet.
Got him. Yeah. Come on. There. Yeah, back at you. Yeah. Back off. Back off. Got him. Back at you. Here we go.
Well, hey, I'm not gonna argue with having the battling and stuff here, because that was really a big part of why I wanted to do all this side questing right now anyway. You know, fight some enemies, get some experience, hopefully be a little better prepared for tough battles in the DLC portion of things. Okay, okay, I could see this. So there's some air stepping. So maybe it's near here. Tree high up on the west side with an icon on its branch. Well, you know what I haven't been doing, but I should. Shot lock. Okay. For a second I was going to be like, but I don't see any enemies to use Flare Force on. But no, they showed up. And even more enemies have showed up. No, shown up. Grammar.
Back off.
Okay. Jeez. Lots of enemy item drops. So high up on the west side, eh? These guys. I pushed the button to change keyblade back.
So long. Take this. Yeah.
Still don't see any air stepping icon though. And I am very much staying focused on the west side here. I think I'm about to be in a different area, though. Yeah, that's the marsh. Okay. I would think this is considered the west side, right? Although, maybe not with how this area kind of bends around.
Some ingredients around here. Just imagine the yummy stuff little chef will whip up with this.
Uh-huh. Well, maybe this is it. Elven bandana? Was that number 2? Yes, it was. Okay. Didn't get there by air stepping, but whatever. So, we still got 3, 6, 12, 14, 16, 17, 18, 21 through 24, and 25 through 28. Also, as far as lucky emblems go, I only have 2 in Corona. Okay. Wondering if maybe I should pull up my own guide here so I'm not relying quite so much on notes from the chat. I don't want to necessarily bring that up on my, you know, on my main computer here, though, because the brightness could be kind of blinding for... Anyway, oh, geez, that's... Okay, so I've got the maps here that I could pull up, or... or go with this list like this. Hidden up on a ledge. Well, that's real descriptive. Hills. 8. One near the tower. Number 3. Okay. So, I think that one's actually back a little bit earlier, further away from the marsh. Ah, maybe it's this. Number 3, wind fan, yeah. Okay. So the next one I need is number 6. Which is actually back a little further in the hills area. Kind of near the one little pond kind of thing. I think. I fought you guys already. I'm just trying to get back to the one area where I can find this treasure. Okay, I mean, if this many of y'all are going to keep showing up again, then fine, let's roll. So yeah, I found numbers 2 and 3, actually. I've pulled up a guide on my phone to use as a reference. I'm now working on number 6. Okay. So, if my understanding of the map there is correct, facing away from the little pond area, I need to go left. And just like way over here. Somewhere in this general vicinity, I think. Ah, there we go. Okay, so that's number 6. So now, the next one I need is number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry, number 11. I kept saying 12 before. I guess that's number 11. Number 11 is in the marsh, and it's a potion. Okay. Heading right from the save point. Marsh, yes. Kind of weird how the order of like 2 through, I don't know, 10-ish moves you away from the marsh. Like, you would think it should just go from the tower through the forests and the marsh. And anyway. Heading right from the save point. Or then slightly... very slightly southwest, you'll see a large rock formation. It's on a ledge on the east side of the rock. Maybe that rock? Back off! So long! Damn. Here we go! Back off! Yeah! Okay. Enemies are gone. No? I cannot get up on this.
I know what to do, Zora. Go get him! Oh!
That wasn't exactly very southwest that I went, probably. Really?
Here we go.
Okay. Some kind of item pick up there, or item drop, I guess you might say. Right? Okay, so I was heading right from the save point. Large rock formation on a ledge on the east side of the rock. Maybe that's not the rock formation they're talking about. I don't know. I'm not really seeing any other large rock formations, though. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't see anything around this rock formation that would... Left side of the rock based on the image. Actually, yeah, I should probably look at said image. Hills. Marsh. Oh, yeah, that's definitely closer to the end of this area. Okay. And I just went back towards the start of it. Yeah, I just don't think I went quite far enough. So maybe it's this rock formation. Potion. Yeah. Okay. Man, imagine doing this kind of stuff in the age that didn't have guides, although they intentionally started making some games a bit different when guides became a thing. Anyway, so that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So number 13 is next. Forest wetlands. Run up the wall after fighting a chaos carriage. Okay. That seems like I might be able to get closer by just picking a different save point. And that is number 13, yes? Well, I don't have a wetlands option. So that has me thinking, like, should I continue from here, or... or maybe the campsite will be a little closer. Because then if I see, okay, this says wetlands if I go back a little bit. Okay. After fighting Chaos Carriage. KH. Might put me somewhere around where I currently am. Chaos Carriage was, if I recall correctly, near the end of the broader wetlands area. Okay. And again, maybe I'm not remembering it correctly. Whoa, hello. Nah, this right here was the area with the Chaos Carriage. And wouldn't you know it, there's a battle gate. Maybe after finding this treasure, I shall attempt the battle gate. Either that or I just come back to it later. Okay, run up the wall. After fighting, then turn around and the chest will be on a ledge to the right. Well, that would be to the left after turning around. There we go. That's probably it. Mage's Earring. This is the wetlands. Anyway. Alright. So I got number 13. Next is... yeah, that was 13, right? Anyway, 8. I need 15 through 17. I bet you there's a bunch, like, in the main town that I'm missing. Forest wetlands. Follow the path, and when you use Rapunzel to swing for a second time... Good grief. Right, for small rocks to climb. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure this spot is after all the hair swinging stuff. So now I'm probably going to want to backtrack. Ooh, what's this? Damascus. Which one was that? That was seriously the one I was just looking for, I think. That was number 4. No. Which one was... Oh, the Damascus was number 16. Okay. We're still looking for 15. Okay. Over to them and down. So yeah, back to 15. So I would think it's a little bit before this then.
Yeah. Yeah. Back off. There. Come on.
Okay, well Donald's level 51. Here's a thing. Again, not sure if this is number 14, but come on. There we go. And that is a mithril stone. That was still not number 15. That was 17.
Back off! Back off! So long! Like this! Yeah! Yeah! Come on!
For a second, I just heard a sound from Donald that made me think he got knocked out or something.
Back off!
Ooh, hey, lucky emblem. Did I get that one already? Yes, I did. Dang it. Okay, so... I gotta imagine we're looking for something earlier than this. Whoa. So, jeez. So what was the description? Yeah, So 15 is... I'm pretty close to it, actually. Based on the map. In fact, it might even be right up here. Ish. There is an image. You mean in the Discord? No. Just on the site. I imagine you and I are looking at the same guide, pretty much. Okay, so I think I actually need to go... Ah, there we go. That's probably it. Defense belt. Yeah. Okay. Now, I need numbers, let's see here, 16, 17, 18, 19, okay. I need 20 through, wait, 16, 17, 18, 19, yeah. 20, 21, 22, 23. 20 through 23, okay. So... looks like the last few, at least, are in the kingdom. Number 20 is just before it. I'm not as sure about 21 and 22. Forest wildflower clearing. Okay, where's the nearest save point from here? Let's see here. So generally you go in there, you come out here, you go over that way, you fight the carriage, which brings you to this. This, I think... Oh, hey, wildflower clearing. Okay. Facing northwest at the save point. So let me go to the save point. Also, save because it's been a bit. Okay, facing northwest. Yep. And all of this stuff that's been in the chat means I need to scroll up to see what the hint was. Facing northwest, follow the slope up to the left, jump behind the bushes at the top. So, like, up here? Well, there's a chest. I don't know if this is necessarily that one, but...
Nice.
The Wayward Canary. Minigame thing. I didn't... Well, without you reposting, I needed to scroll. I made no assumption that you would repost. So that's not it? Northwest. I mean, that's northwest, right? Follow the slope up to the left. Jump behind the bushes at the top. Unless it's not actually meaning northwest and it's talking about, like, over here. No, okay, this doesn't seem to track with that either. High ether is what I'm looking for. Okay. So... From... See, this is showing it, like, just before the shore? Which I would think is, like, after all of this.
Yeah.
Am I wrong about that? Well, if I am, I can just make my way back up, or, you know, save point, teleport, or whatever you want to call it. Because this is the shore right here. Yeah, I guess it kind of skips all the narrow pathway that gets you to the shore.
Yeah.
And there's no save point right here exactly, so now I'm, like,
Yeah.
heading my way all the way back up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I know it says facing northwest of the wildflower save point. I tried that, and it didn't seem to be it. That's why I'm confused. Okay, so this is the wildflower save point. According to the minimap, this would pretty much be straight north. That would be roughly northwest. Unless I'm going a little bit further west of northwest. But that doesn't seem to make much sense to me either. image for 21 has a different chest for reference. Alright, I mean, on a ledge. Look at your chest and the chest in the image. What? The base of it. See. So we're going for 21. Which, okay, let me just make sure that 16, 17, 18, 19. Also need 20 actually. But 21, it says on a ledge near a huge tree for the clue. That's okay. On the map, it shows 21 being this way. The directions you gave me were for 22. Well, I just got number 21, I'm pretty sure, by going the opposite way. Yeah, I just got the high ether. So, whatever. Where are you? Okay, maybe we are looking at different guides, because that's... I don't know where you'd be copying and pasting that. Because that's not in the guide that I'm looking at, so maybe. Anyway, back to 20. 20 is at the shore, which is where I got myself to just a little bit earlier. But yeah, the high ether was definitely not what I would have called northwest. Anyway, so... Hey! Midwest Dungeon Delvers! How's it going? Happy Thanksgiving. Anyway, upon entering the shore, turn right and keep right. Okay, so... Turn right, keeping right. Maybe this is it. AP boost? Okay, and I guess it's possible all the rest of them are, like, in the town. Yep, that was it. Okay. So, yeah. To Midwest and anyone else who might be hopping in on this, I finished the base game of Kingdom Hearts 3 on Proud Mode, and, before I get into the DLC, I'm going around finding some treasures and other collectibles and stuff, while also kind of leveling up to hopefully be a little bit better prepared for the DLC content. Kingdom Thoroughfare, go straight down the main path and look to the right of the painting of the king and queen.
The princess is so fun to talk to.
I bet we'll find some ingredients around here.
I'm sure we'll find plenty if we really want to. But I'm not real focused on ingredients right now. Right of the painting. Aha. There are people there. I need to do this to get them away from the chest, probably. Oop. Magic boost. Nice.
Let's race to the docks.
Join me for a little stroll.
Hi, Rapunzel.
Would you like to dance?
Not right now. No
Sorry,
thanks.
Sora, but I won't be swinging you across any more chasms.
Oh, didn't mean to attack there. I was just trying to advance the text. Next one. Let's see here. So that gets us through number 24. I just need 25 through 28 now. Yeah. I'm not necessarily doing all the completion stuff, but just some of it as a way of it doing more than just pure level grinding. Right after the passing the save point on the bridge. Which means I need to backtrack a little bit. Okay. Turn left. Yeah. Oh, hey. So there's one. That's an ether. And I bet you if I continue along here, I will find more. Hey, yeah, look at that. Boom. Lucky emblem.
Hope we find some ingredients around here.
There's just straight up food. The sea bass thing there. Pretty sure there's a chest at the top of this. Yep. That's a rune ring. I'm not 100% sure about a chest being over here, but it wouldn't surprise me. And I'm pretty sure at the very least I can get a lucky emblem by going to that other tower thing there.
Too eager to help with the festival.
Mine too, same every year.
But for those who are curious, I just need number 28 now. As far as treasures go. Okay, well, there's a lucky emblem. Ooh, got a wisdom ring from finding 50 lucky emblems.
Nice picture, Sora.
Yeah.
Follow the path of the wharf. The water to your left. Turn left down a path to a tower. The chest is behind boxes stacked up on the... Okay. So, like... So it's behind a stack of boxes. There we go. High potion. Okay, so we've gotten all the chests. I guess that leaves us with lucky emblems for this world. Yep. Okay, lucky emblems. I am missing numbers 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. Might be best if we work our way backwards. Because I would imagine the later ones are more likely to be around here. Actually, there was somewhere that I saw some rope lying around that for some reason just... Nope, okay.
What's the world coming to? Was anything stolen?
Nothing over here in this little corner.
The forest is lousy friends.
Hey, I think that's a lucky emblem.
Yep, what do you know? Lucky emblem.
Nice picture, Sora.
Now, which one was that? That was lucky emblem number 6. So, we just need 1, 4, 5, and 7 now.
He's a thief. What more do you need to know?
I would guess at least number 7 is probably somewhere around here.
Step right up.
Then again, maybe not.
Where's in the land? Right here.
I just adore the princess's short hair.
Okay. Give me a sec. To try and find myself a guide on this, I guess. Yeah, there was no link. Yeah, doesn't seem like I ever actually got a link from Seth on that guide. But, maybe... Or maybe this one guide shows both? No. Okay. There we go. Lucky emblems. Kingdom of Corona. Do-do-do. Okay, number 1 is all the way back at the tower. That shouldn't be surprising. But, given where I am... Oh, Number 7 was kind of in one of the areas I thought it was. So it's... somewhere around this thing? Oh. Yep.
Let's see.
There's that. Okay. So, now I need lucky emblem numbers 1, 4, and 5, which are not in this area. Number 4 is at the shore. Oh wait, 5 is in the kingdom. Okay. So then before I go to the shore... I should track that one down. And I get the impression it is along this side. Somewhere. Ah, yep. Lucky emblem. Along with a very bored-looking person right next to it. Save my progress here. Okay. Back to the shore. And seemingly somewhere near that one treasure I found, there should be a lucky emblem.
Hope we find
I
some
think.
ingredients around here.
But maybe not that close to it. Hang on a sec. Looking at the map. Yeah, no, that's definitely closer to the steps. Or that path there. Yeah, there. Lucky emblem.
Let's see.
I'll
Click.
help you find the next one.
And then... Okay, just number 1, which is all the way back at the tower. But then, I will be looking for battle gates. I already know where the 1 is. Not sure if there are any others here in Corona. Oh, man. Hang on. I betcha. At the best viewing angle, or whatever lucky emblem is in question here, is gonna be, yep.
Let's see.
Alright. Ooh, a defense boost for getting
I'll help you
55
find
lucky
the
emblems.
next one.
Alright. Why? I do have a Kupo coin, right? Yeah, okay, good. Jeez. Okay. Suddenly, bunch of stuff. Yeah, I'm probably nowhere near being able to synthesize. Oh, I'm actually only a lucid crystal away from synthesizing Save the Queen. And a pulsing crystal away from synthesizing Save the King. So yeah, I got all the lucky emblems now. Wi-Fi trouble and Twitch resets. Ah, okay. Let's see here. Out of the stuff I currently have equipped. Sure, let's upgrade the Wheel of Fate. Nano gear, I need another Damascus. Crystal Snow can be upgraded though. Okay. Any luck with what? I found all the lucky emblems. I just need to find the battle gates. Well, I mean, I know where the one battle gate is. I'm just not sure if there are any other battle gates. And by the way, just as proof, there. All the lucky emblems. Okay, table of contents. Where's the battle gates? I'm not really seeing Nothing in here for battle gates. That just me? Like, I'm looking in the table of contents. Unless I just went to the... Alright, well, getting stuff from Seth in Discord. First two is in the wildflower clearing. Wildflower clearing? Assuming that's not the one that we saw in the wetlands, then that means the one that we already know is the other one. Where is there a battle gate around here? Yeah, I've got Discord open now.
Yeah.
Wildflower clearing is one of two. Yes, I saw that. I still think maybe you're lagging a bit behind there, Seth. Is this supposed to be the one in the wildflower clearing? Where's the other one? Out of curiosity. Okay, well, either way, this is definitely a battle gate. 2-star difficulty. Yippee. Oh, is it? Yep. Right. That's what it is.
Back off. My shield ready.
Okay.
Go get him. Back at you. Yeah. Take this.
Might want to do a shot lock.
Here we go.
Oh, wait, can I actually get on top of that one tower-looking thing right now? Come on. Okay, maybe I can, but it doesn't seem like it does anything.
Back off. Thunder. There. So long. Yeah. It's over. Here we go.
I should have waited until at least that combo finisher was done.
Back off. Take this.
Flare Force. For, well, not necessarily for the win, but for the defeating of that. Oh. Now we got another thing like this. Healing.
Take this.
Sure. I'll take another full force right about now.
Yeah. Yeah. See ya. Yeah. Try this. Back off.
Doggone it, I blocked too early.
Heal. Back off. Back at ya.
Storm flag first. No, I pressed the thing to change the option. Why? Did it, like, was it stuck on, or was it, did it have one selected that was different than I thought? I guess so. Because otherwise I don't know how that would have happened. I can't block in this form. Okay, that was just... And I'm kind of trapped. The timing of some of these hits is just a little bit weird. Mostly the fact that it seems like the enemy's attack is hitting me at different points in the motion for it. Jeez, really? Okay. I'm glad my MP keeps recharging even while these are taking some time. Wow. Oh. I thought for a second they took all the, like, MP recovery stuff.
Back at ya. Yeah. Back at ya. So long. Here we go. Back off. Yeah. Yeah. Back off.
Alright.
Go get him.
I mean, it's been kind of close a couple of times, but so far this hasn't been too bad, really. No, that's right. This is pretty much just... Storm Flag tends to do it in, like, a area of effect around Sora. Alright. Got an illusory crystal. And Secret Report 6. Okay. How are we doing on timing? Ad break's gonna start in 5 minutes if I don't start it myself. Question is, where's the other battle gate? And of what difficulty is it? definitely gonna save after that. Okay. Give me a sec here. Do. Okay, well, I've found a different guide that is showing battle gates. Maybe... Okay. Oh, another one's at the tower. How did I miss that? Where at the tower is it? I suppose is the question.
Back off! Back off! Yeah.
You picked on the wrong handsome road.
Stream! Take this! I know what you're doing.
Well, we don't really need... Yes, I beat that battle gate. Now, I saw something or another that seems to indicate... Oh, it's not at the tower, but maybe if you go from the tower, it's close by. Because it sure doesn't seem... The picture I'm seeing doesn't seem so much like the tower itself. So maybe it's just outside of the tower here.
Back off!
Okay, who's first?
Yeah.
Sorry, Donald, you totally had that. I stole your kill. There is this thing too, but I don't know if I really need to do that. Okay. Oh, you know what? I think I remember where it is now. Yep. Okay. But Twitch ads are about to start, so I will hold off on that for a couple of minutes here. Because I don't want y'all to miss it. Meanwhile, I think I will take a quick bathroom break. I'll be back in a little bit. Have some background music in the meantime. Okay. I'm back. Yeah. So here we are, ready to take on the next battle gate. This one's only a 1-star, supposedly.
Back off! Back off!
Really, the best and, well, the easiest way to handle this would probably be using arrow magic.
Back off! Here we go!
But there are other means by which to handle these things. And when I say these things, I'm not referring to the enemies that way.
Take this!
Ow. Ow. Stop it.
So long!
Water's up. I would think for a plant-based enemy like you, that might actually be helpful.
See ya!
Okay, now I'll do Flare Force. Alright, level 52 now. Nice. Oh. We got just a gaggle of annoying enemies here.
Later! There! Back up! Strike!
Jeez.
Heal! Yeah! Yeah! Back off!
You know, I suppose at some point I should use some of the, like, boost items that I've gained. Like, you know, I got a defense boost a little while ago. Also, Patriot Prime, welcome to the stream. No, I am not playing this on PC. This is on Xbox. I assume that's what you meant. Obviously, I am streaming from a PC, but the game itself is on Xbox. Therefore, no mods available or anything like that. Alrighty. So that, I'm pretty sure, takes care of all the battle gates in Corona. Yep. Next one it's showing is in Monstropolis, which I imagine is where the treasure guide and such would have us go next anyway. That is not where I need to go to get to the tower. That's where I need to go.
Back off!
And I get some free experience, or easy experience, I should say, from these guys again.
Yeah.
I'm in a macro level grind, max KH3 in under 30 minutes. That seems really quick. Little curious how you might have pulled that off. Yes, Seth. Successful battle at the gate. Or whatever you want to call that. Okay, embarking. Now, we're on to this set of worlds. At least as far as the Battlegate guide, Monstropolis was the next world. I don't know for sure yet about treasures and stuff though. Yeah, okay. Alright, so yes, Monstropolis. Might as well start at the entrance. It's also, Patriot Prime, long as you're not, you know, putting anything suspicious in the chat here, I suppose
Come on,
it's all good. This leads back to the main entrance. I imagine this would be the first place to want to check.
Back off! Back off!
Wow, that did a lot of damage. Or it's just other people were also attacking at the same time. Okay. Right. Yeah, I just figured I'd do a quick little look there. So, I actually have most of these, but I am missing number 5 first. 90 lucky emblems. The Mickey clasp accessory before going to the Keyblade graveyard. Then you arrow run your shortcuts. Well, that's okay. That's on PC. No auto clicker stuff to use on Xbox here. But geez, yeah, that's the things you can do with auto clickers, man. Okay, upper level. After your second rail ride, when you walk through the door into the lower level, make a right and head through the lit door to find the upper level. Okay. I'm wondering if there's a save point anywhere right near there. Well, that says upper level.
Come on, fellas.
So where would this take me then? After your second rail ride, when you walk through the door into the lower level, make a right, hit through.
Back off! So long! Here we go!
Hey, Patriot Prime, thanks for the follow.
Yeah! Yeah!
Yes. I'm not the kind of person that's gonna say I'm a random Christian gamer and not be Christian. That just seems like an odd concept to me. Okay, so unless this is supposed to be the second rail ride that it's talking about. Let's give it a whirl, eh? We have Youth Pastor Ryan, and he's not a youth pastor. Or, I would say, well, maybe other religions have pastors too, but you also said he's not a pastor, so eh. Dodge through the lightning with good. Okay.
Let's see.
Okay, got that lucky emblem already.
Come on. Got him.
Okay. So maybe.
This door should take us right back to the lab floor.
Yeah, well, I'm not necessarily just going for emblems, I'm also going for the treasures. In fact, really, I'm kind of focusing on the treasures first. When you walk through the door into the lower level, make a right and head through the lit door. Yeah, okay. And that's probably the chest in question right there.
What's that over there?
Hold up. Sully just said, what's that over there? Either he's talking about this, or there's a lucky emblem somewhere around here. I do seem to remember there being, like, a lucky emblem somewhere in amongst the doors and stuff. Lucky emblem near banana. Ah, okay. Oh, right,
Hey,
yeah.
Let's see.
That.
Nice.
I'll help you find the next one.
Okay. I am not currently focused too much on mini-games and stuff, but on these kind of mini-games. Mostly the collectibles. So, what do we need next? 3, 4, 5, 6. I need treasure number 8. Out of all those. Still missed quite a few of the lucky emblems too, but we'll focus on treasures first. Okay, Monstropolis. Next is number 8. Is it in the door vault? Well, if I'm coming from the power plant, it's kind of the opposite there. Okay, got that one already.
This might be a good spot to find some ingredients.
After a second round of riding, yeah. Whoops. Gotta go get ready for meeting family. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to you too, Patriot Prime. And anybody else who's watching right now. Yeah, my family gathering will be a bit later in the day, which is why I'm streaming now. Vault upper level. Right before entering into the factory, there should be an elevator next to a hidden emblem directly across from the door. In the elevator, you'll find this chest. Okay, give me a sec. Saving. So, I'm at the factory basement. So it's talking about an elevator. Which I think I can get to if I go further along here. Although, maybe there might be a easier... There might be a closer save point to go from. Before entering into the factory. Upper level, right? Elevator. So, I guess maybe I need to go back? Save point 2. Okay. Yeah, that was the save point that I just came from a little bit before. All right, well, you might as well go with it, I guess. But I mean, this is the entry to the factory, right? Factory basement? I don't know. You know what? We'll just go from here.
Come on, fellas.
So that means I gotta ride the rail again and do all that kind of stuff. Well, hey, more experience at least. Hit. Hey. Yeah. I like that a lot better than doing the whole take cover thing to get through the lighting. Some of those are a little harder to judge because of the camera angle and such. Oh, this elevator. Okay. That makes sense. Okay, what's the next one I need? Next one I need is number 16, 15, 14.
This door should take us right back to the lab floor. Hope we find some ingredients
I'm
around
gonna
here.
take a wild guess that most of the other stuff I'm looking for is gonna be at or beyond the factory.
Oh boy, let's go!
So let me save here. Okay. It appears Seth might be having some issues with stuff. So let me see if I can find number 14 here myself. I think it's number 14 I'm looking for anyway. Yeah. Yep, that's in the factory, alright. Just before the power plant. Ground floor, access way, tank yard. Oh, that's the power plant. Okay. So really, I could just go to the power plant and probably work back from there.
You know, we have you guys to thank for saving the company. Couldn't ask for better friends.
So it would appear to me that...
Oh boy, let's go!
Aha! It would appear to me that this might be what I'm looking for. Valor Ring. I mean, yeah, that was probably it. And then, okay. What's next? So I've got 6, I need 17 next. Which seems to be at the very end of the first part of the power plant. Well, not the very, very end, but near the end. So, back to the power plant.
You know, we have you guys to thank for
Something
saving the company. Couldn't ask for better
seems
friends.
vaguely familiar around here, like there should be a lucky emblem nearby or something.
I bet you there's a lucky
Aha.
emblem here.
Yeah,
Lucky emblem.
let's see.
Click.
Oh boy, let's find some more!
After an outdoor rail slide along a pipe, you find this chest at the end of the hallway just before the stairs. Yep. Also, real quick. Magic boost. Defense boost. AP boost, I'll see. While it feels really slow to do the whole sliding thing, the speed with which you actually end up, you know, eliminating the enemies that way makes it actually quite a bit quicker. Okay, there we go. Jeez. It's like it wasn't giving me the symbol
Try
to
this.
do that stuff. Anyway. Or the right reaction command thing. Sinister Gem, Sinister Stone, ×2. Yeah, I think I got a little fighting through some enemies to do here.
Back off. There. Look, over here. I know what
I'm not sure how helpful Trinity Guard will be against these enemies, considering they're primarily airborne. Okay, well, it wasn't terrible, I guess. Okay. Outdoor rail slide along a pipe. Yeah, I think I still got another, like, whole section here to get through before getting to that pipe.
Take this. Show who the real ones are. See ya.
More AP for Sora, sweet, and magic increased. That's also very nice.
I bet we'll find some ingredients around here.
Still got a little ways to go. Also making sure, trying to make sure I keep an eye on the time. Because I have, you know, about my usual time frame of 3-ish hours for today's stream before I would probably want to possibly do something else. Holy cow, that... So, I'm sorry, doing that slow motion stuff just completely canceled out the usual, like, finish attack from the Storm Flag. So, yeah, note to self, don't do flow motion near the end of the Keyblade form change.
Back off. There.
Okay. Oh, nope. I thought that was the last enemy in the area. Now we're good. Man. Geez, something just hit my throat weird there.
Back off.
Oh, well, Well, here's a pipe. In the hallway just before the stairs. Oh, yeah, that one. Storm flag. But then I will change to this for Blizzaza. Okay. Ooh, another Damascus. Nice. More weapon upgrades. Well, one more weapon upgrade. Okay. So, I am only missing number 21 now in Monstropolis. Number 21 is... Okay, so we'll land here from the access way. Bet you it's in that area that was on fire. When going through this. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Okay. Falling, 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 falling. Power plant, vault passage. Another area blocked by fire your first time through. Yep.
Crane might
Find this
come in
chest on the
handy.
other side of the staircase in a small alcove. Makes me wonder if it would actually be closer to the door vault save point here. I'm gonna try backtracking from that.
Oh boy, let's go!
Power plant. And
You know, we have you guys to thank for
vault
saving
passage,
the
yeah.
company.
Okay.
Couldn't ask for better friends.
Flare force. And no enemies at the moment. Oh. Maybe I had the wrong one in the list? That's where I would have thought it was talking about. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. No. On the other side of the staircase in a small alcove. Or maybe it's here. Ah, okay. There we go. Mega Elixir. Oh, that's a lucky emblem right there.
Back off! See ya! Take this!
Over here.
I need to get myself up this way.
Sora, look.
Let's see. Nice!
Okay. There's that lucky emblem. Now, speaking of those, I'm only missing 4 of them. I need numbers 2, 6, 7, and 9. Let's see here. Lucky emblems. Do Monstropolis. Okay, well, number 2 is in, like, the early area. Guess that's probably the best one to get first. Okay, I thought I was thinking my way backwards. Yep, find the laugh. Yeah. So, let me go back to the lobby area. I think it's actually on the last floor itself. Yeah. Like, just inside the entrance to the last floor, actually.
Come on, fellas.
Might as well do the finish here. Yeah, more enemies appeared. Well, good thing that attack lasted through all those enemies then. Okay. It's not like back here, is it? I got the impression that it was... Yeah, it's actually on the last floor itself, although is it like on this thing specifically? No, it's not on it, it's under it though. How do I get that thing to move more? There. Okay. Lucky emblem. Okay. I'm sorry, what do you mean you see me? Okay, so now it's number 6 and 7. Number 6 is in the factory. Ground floor, it seems. Alrighty. So back to this save point, I guess. Factory, ground floor. Look for some pink paint. Okay. Pink paint, pink paint.
Let's see.
Ooh, got an orichalcum ring for the 60th lucky emblem.
Nice picture, Sora.
Nice. I say nice, not even really knowing offhand what that does, but more equipment stuff is always good. Number 7 should be the next one here. Yeah. Go up. Like, up the elevator, I assume? Or to take the yellow way. Yeah, I don't feel like dealing with these. I don't feel like dealing with these enemies for much longer than I gotta.
Take this! Try this! Go get him!
Okay. Is this what you mean by the yellow way? Like going up here? Yellow way. That's not especially descriptive. Okay. I assume those are the steps we're talking about here. Well, shoot. So, now, corridor with a conveyor. There's multiple corridors with conveyors around here.
Relax. Sully turned off all the lasers.
But I am
Like,
thinking
there's
about
this
beefing up
one,
security after that last
which
visit to
could
Randall.
very easily have some stuff I missed because I was too busy dodging lasers. Oh, geez, I used up the last of my MP and didn't even realize it. I think I'll be fine. But now, the thing is, a corridor with a conveyor could also have been the other way before the steps. But there was a mention of steps, so anyway. Lucky emblem. Lucky emblem. Oh, jeez. Okay, Flare Force. Because why not? High Wind. So that's ready for whenever. Okay. Well, now I'm in this big room here. Where you turn, then must turn into a yellow corridor with it. Past the yellow stairs. Oh, so that was probably
I bet we'll find
back
some ingredients around here.
earlier when I was like, well, okay, there's this way and there's that way. And it was probably the other way. So, like, maybe over here. Up.
Let's see.
Wish I would have just seen that a little bit sooner. Oh well. Alright. Only lucky emblem number 9 left. Okay. Which, let's see here. Oh, is back in the power plant area. Yeah, I'm gonna do a lot of gliding around here just to try and speed things up a bit. Okay, power plant.
Don't worry, the fire's been out for a while.
Olive oil.
That's a bit. Keep looking.
And we got these guys again. Oh, Blizzard Claws. Yeah. Why not? Okay. Yeah, so maybe somewhere around here. That's kind of what your clues seem to be indicating. No, I thought I already did the Stormfly change. Okay. Here, not to miss an open door.
Come on! See ya! Hope we find some ingredients around here.
Am I just always able to cycle around and smack this water tank thing for synthesis materials? Like, geez. Geez. Lightning gem and lightning stone there. Aha.
Let's see.
There's the lucky emblem. Okay. And now the battle gate, I think, comes, like, after all this stuff. Or at least the one that I saw. Maybe there's more than one battle gate. Could be one on the last floor as well. That wouldn't surprise me.
Here we go.
Strength and defense both increased. Nice.
Back off. Back off. Hey, over here, Zora.
No!
Why would I save it for tomorrow? Like me to save the pages for another. Possibly, especially in the case of the remind part of the DLC actually like allowing for going back to the other worlds. I'm not 100% sure that it does, but it might. I definitely imagine once I get to the limit cut episode with the data battles and all that, that I will not be able to backtrack. Yeah, we are running a little low on time, huh?
Take this. Take this.
Okay. Keep them safe till we either do them or we get through the DLC and decide. Sounds like a pretty good idea to me there, Seth. Okay. Gonna head out here. Watch any extra at a later moment. Okay. Well, thanks for hanging around, Seth. Hope you have a happy Thanksgiving.
The crane might come in handy if we need to get back up.
I'm thinking I might want to try to at least do the battle gates for this world before I wrap things up today, if I can, find them and beat them reasonably quickly. Okay. I think maybe if I go up here, I will find one of the battle gates. Yep. Okay, there's the one. Is there a save point real close to here? Not super close, although I think if I go on the other side of that area, then I'll find one. This one's only a 1-star. Okay. But let me, let me change which Keyblade variant I'm using here. Oh, hello. jeez. Sully's already knocked out? Daggone. Oh, darn it, I keep mistiming my blocking. Yeah. Finally managed to time my block decently. Also, totally could have used a shot lock, but didn't. Well, that was a pretty quick, simple, easy battle gate kind of thing. Now, is there another one in Monstropolis? No. Next one I see seems to be in Arendelle. So I guess now it's just a matter of finding a save point. And then I'm pretty much done. Although, the next set of Twitch ads might catch up to me before I manage to make that happen.
Couldn't ask for better friends.
Well, especially before I would then actually officially wrap up the stream. Enemies over here, right? Yes, okay. Thundaza. Goodbye. Whoa, okay. Stream's glitching out. Has it been doing that here and there throughout? Well, it's just the gameplay glitching out. Okay. I hope it hasn't done that too much throughout the stream. Sorry if it has. Alright, before I completely put an end to this, I might want to have a look at some abilities and stuff. And that'll be happening while the ad break is going on anyway. Let's see here. Quick slash. Strike it. Holy cow, I've got like 30 AP to spare now. Strike a nearby target with a quick upward slash. Groundbreaker. Last charge. Combo finisher. Okay, maybe. Aerial dive, aerial sweep, radial blaster. Oh yeah, combo boost and air combo boost. We'll get some more damage. Increases the aerial combo damage in proportion to the length of the combos. Yeah. Okay. Don't really care about attraction extenders. I will maybe do the link extender, though. That, in particular, might not be super helpful for the DLC, but whatever. So, then we got aerial dive, aerial sweep, radial blaster, flash step, and quick slash. Okay. And Groundbreaker was one of the ones that I gotta press B mid-combo to activate. So I'm not too torn up about not having that. Donald. Nothing. Goofy? Nothing. Okay. Equipment. What new equipment? I've got all sorts of new equipment, if I really think about it. Buster Band Plus. Grants 5 defense. And some elemental resistances, although not... Actually, okay. Fire Siphon. Recovers MP when I take fire damage. That could be... I could utilize that kind of slot and type of armor to try and work a few things to my advantage. Although, I don't know if there are any... I don't think there are any Organization 13 members that have real, like, specifically elemental stuff, other than Larxene has lightning. But, like, we're not fighting Axel anymore, who would have fire. Yeah, I don't think any of the others really have particular elements that they use a ton of. So the Buster Brand Plus might be a good idea. Elven Bandana, no. What? Although there's a Water Siphon and Arrow Siphon. Ribbon, lower defense, more elemental resistances. But again, if I'm not going to be facing enemies that use elements too much, probably not a big deal. I mean, some elemental resistance is fine. I'm not going to trade, like, all that for just a little bit of defense. Okay, yeah, now what did I get out of, like, this type of thing? Valor Ring. Just 4 strength and 6 AP. Cure Converter. Fill situation command gauges as you spend MP on Cure Magic. Interesting. Orichalcum Ring. Okay, 6 strength, 10 AP, no magic though. But I'd be swapping 2 magic for 4 strength and a little more AP. Along with having Cure Converter as opposed to, well, Damage Siphon is nice. But so far, I'm thinking might go with the Orichalcum Ring. Wisdom Ring is sort of the opposite. Potentially recover HP proportionate to the MP you expend. Ooh, that could be an interesting way to change up the combat. So, like, if I'm running kind of low on health and I have a bunch of MP, I could try and magic spam and possibly recover some health before I then would use any cure magic. Interesting. Thunder Cufflink, Fire Cufflink, those I'm not surprised by what they would do. Master's Necklace has more AP. And swaps a little bit of... recharge MP 10% faster when you run out. So, either I go with just faster MP recovery once it runs out, which is nice, or I go with this whole Wizard's Ruse idea. Although Cure Converter is also not bad, although... Is that... terrible? I don't know how helpful that is in general against, like, the data battles and such. Let me have this Wisdom Ring equipped. See if I can learn a little bit about this Wizard's Ruse before I would get into a whole bunch of that. I can definitely at least upgrade you to a Faraga Bangle, right? Oh, you just have a Fire Bangle. I can upgrade you to a Fire Bangle. Okay. Not super worried about other stuff. Oh, shoot, yeah. Petite, or just, yeah, regular ribbon. Give that to Goofy. Would the petite ribbon also be better than this? Not necessarily. I lose a little bit of defense from it. Yeah, anyway. Okay. Did I gain any AP? Yes, but only 2. So I'm not going to be able to re-equip Groundbreaker just yet. Okay. And I think, well, hang on. Moogle. I should be able to upgrade another Keyblade. I could go with the Crystal Snow or the Nano Gear. Nano Gear is already at a higher level than Crystal Snow, so let me go with the Crystal Snow. Try to keep it a little more balanced, maybe. Okay. That, I think, is all I'm gonna do for right now with all that kind of stuff. And I seem to have lost a few viewers. Whether or not it was while I was looking through the menu stuff, I don't know. But, okay. That is gonna do it for today's live stream. I think I'm gonna maybe get myself just a little something to snack on at least before because there's not really going to be a whole lot happening, you know, Thanksgiving special occasion wise with my family until at least after noon, probably even, like, I know my one sister isn't going to be there until more like 1 o'clock. So, anywho. But still, we have reached our usual stream duration. I see no need to linger too much longer. So, see if I feel like raiding anybody here real quick. Huh. Interesting. All right. In light of Thanksgiving stuff and noticing what Flat Cap Dapper Pastor's doing right now, which seems to be like Thanksgiving prep, I think we might send a little raid over there. All right. So that's going to do it from me. I hope you're all doing well. Hopefully you all have a happy Thanksgiving and whatever other occasions there might be until I see you next. I should be live tomorrow at roughly the normal time unless something comes up. Otherwise, next week I think is pretty much going to be as normal. Next Friday won't be, but I can explain more on that tomorrow. So yeah, I think that's all I got for now. Hopefully I'll see you soon. Feel free to check out recorded and edited YouTube videos and stuff in the meantime. But whatever ends up happening until the next time I see y'all, stay cool, everybody.